And welcome to the Dawg Chug. Ed in Columbus with Roger First in Cuyahoga Falls and Stefanski girl. Hey, Lana, what's going on?
Hey, nothing was going on with you guys.
Well, we got Andy on assignment tonight, so I said, you know what? I need somebody great. I need somebody huge. I know you're diminutive in stature, but you are huge in the Cleveland podcast scene. Obviously, so huge that, you're Stefanski's side chick. So we brought you on tonight because, hey, that's what I'm hearing around the way, and that's why we got you in today. We've got plenty of news about the Cleveland Browns that we will get into. But hey, Lana, you're on tonight. You're co-hosting the Dawg Chug. What do you got to say?
I am so excited. This is like the biggest honor. I mean, as most of you know in the Cleveland area, I filmed in the movie Superman this summer. And hey, MC, but this is even bigger than being in Superman. So I have to say.
Now, we know that's not true, but hey, we appreciate the kind words. So obviously you're with Bougie Sports. You're here tonight with the Dawg Chug, kicking it with the fellas. But hey, Roger First in Cuyahoga Falls. Now, I know you're a man of many words. I think you got some ugly material behind you. Won't mention that team up north because we got to talk about the Ohio State Buckeyes. We'll get into that later as well. But Roger, hey, what do you got to say?
What's going on, guys? Lana, thank you for joining us tonight. Andy's he's actually at the Ice Capades, and he sent us a video in a DM, and he's showing the figure skaters, and they're skating around, and all of a sudden he pans down to a beer he's got stashed below the seat. And you know that's coming when he sends you a video to be somewhere. You know what? We got a great show tonight. We got a great guest. I got a story for you about. I was a kid. I was about 3 or 4 years old. It was the old Cleveland Arena downtown, and my mom, my parents took us to see the Ice Capades, and I was horrified. Something scarred me that day that I'm never going to come back from. The Volkswagen ate Goofy, right? And I start freaking out. The love bug, Herbie the love bug, his trunk opened, the front, and Goofy stuck his head in there. He started eating Goofy. I flipped. I lost it, right? And then out of nowhere, Mary Poppins comes in on a wire, and she comes right past my head. Like we're up, in this cheap seats, and this woman is like on it. And she comes down on a wire with her umbrella, and that scared the shit out of me. And ever since then, I was anti-ice capades, ice skating, ice cubes, anything. I've been scarred for life from that. And so it was a horrific experience.
PTSD for Roger.
Going to the ice capades, man. And it was the old Cleveland Arena, man.
I remember
that's
that
how old
place.
I am.
I remember that place.
You weren't drinking as well back in the day at the Ice Capades, were you, Roger?
No.
Okay.
I was, no, I was scarred for life. I'll tell you that. I never seen the movie with the Volkswagen. It terrified me. Scared to death of Volkswagens until I was 23.
Wow.
Did you make out with a girl in one then?
No. What do you mean at the Ice Capades?
No, when you were 23. When you were 23.
When you were 23, I'm like, well, what made you recover? Were you making out in one or what?
No, I just got over it, I guess.
Were you like Ryan Day, born on third base? Or is that how it works?
Oh, that's what he said. I was like, what?
I had an orange one that didn't have a fender. That probably is what helped me got over it. It was missing one of the fenders. That didn't stop me. I still rolled around in it. So anyway, we got a great show tonight, man.
Wow.
Lana's in as a co-host. Andy's at the Ice Capades chugging beer. And we got a guy, I'll tell you what, when Dawg Chug started, about 6 to 8 months before Dawg Chug started, our guest and myself were planning on starting a podcast. Neither one of us knew how to do anything to start a podcast. We had no idea where to begin. And then I don't know if he had some things going on. I had things going on. It just fell apart. We didn't talk about it. In the meantime, Andy and I meet. We start Dawg Chug. We get it to works. We're working on it. It was like a day or two before our first show, and we kept under wraps. We didn't tell anybody. We just went live, man. We didn't tell anybody. about a day or two before, I get a message from our guest, and Elfman says, "Hey, man, I want to revisit that podcast thing. You know,
Oh.
you and I." But I'll tell you this: I'm 11 years away from retirement. Right now, during the day, Elf's got, when I retire, me and the Elf, we're going live every day.
Wow.
Every day it'd be
Woo!
Elfman at first live. But until then, we got him live tonight on the Dawg Chug. Mike the Elfman, Brownie the Elf. Bring him in, Ed.
Wow. Yeah. Well, welcome to the show, Elf Man.
Hey guys,
I want to say one thing before
Good
Roger.
evening.
I think you haven't told anybody about, not only that podcast, but maybe about the Dawg Chug. And some could argue that you haven't figured, this whole podcasting thing out, even with the Dawg Chug. So I just want to throw that out there.
And just to also be fair, I still ain't figured no podcast out about nothing. I couldn't figure out how to do it now. And I would still need somebody else. You know what I mean? I would still need somebody else.
I know how to do it now, Elf. We're going live on April 16th, 2036, baby. We're
There you
going
go.
live.
I'll
Me and you.
piggyback.
36.
There you go.
You'll be a seasoned vet by then. I can piggyback and jump right onto your success, and there I go.
How many Super Bowls will the Browns have won by then, Elf Man?
After Andrew Berry's fired, they'll have multiple. At least
That's
three.
right.
At least three.
That's right. That's right.
All right.
Wow.
Ed,
We're
go
not-
ahead,
we don't-
take over. I'm going to take a nap and drink some beer.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, Elf Man, since we got you on here, you know what? You got to deal with the shenanigans that come with the opening segments of the Dawg Chug, and that means it's time for Breaking News. This is Ed in Columbus with your Dawg Chug. Breaking News. The Pittsburgh Steelers, once again, were one and done in the playoffs, and their fans were so mad they decided to take a shower. Unfortunately, they did not end up zestfully clean as the showers were black and golden. Hey now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Saints offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak lost out on becoming the Browns offensive coordinator when the team decided to promote Tommy Rees. Hey, Clint, nobody ever loses when they don't get hired in Cleveland. The losing comes if and after you get hired. And finally, I'd like to know where Lou Holtz is right now. OHIO, go Bucks. And this is Ed in Columbus with your Dawg Chug. Breaking news.
Ed,
Who
good
is Lou
job,
Holtz?
man.
Anybody know-
Good job.
where Lou Holtz is? Anybody know?
Very good.
I know
very good.
I threw you off a little bit by bringing Elf in early.
No,
So I
love-
apologize by that.
Roger, you called the audible. I had another audience member watching me, or somebody watching me that actually I could see has eyes, because sometimes we wonder on the Dawg Chug. So, hey, Elfman, hey, I'm glad that I got to perform that live in front of you.
There you go,
There
man.
you go. Right.
It was fantastic.
And you
Fantastic.
weren't nervous or nothing. You had no performance anxieties or nothing. You were
Well, I always do. I just have learned to hide them with maybe some unprescribed medication.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right. But hey, that leads us to something fun. And Roger's going to get to that right now, because you know what? We talk about it during the week, and a little bit behind the curtain. Roger is wanting to step it up in 2025. Maybe Andy could follow. Hey, shout out Andy.
Oh.
Just saying. But yeah, we got a little Dawg Chug update. Let's go.
All right, here we go. The Pittsburgh Steelers fans were so mad after losing to Baltimore over Wild Card Weekend, they were beating each other up after the game. Fans want immediate changes. Fans want immediate change made starting at the top, calling for the head of Coach Mike Tomlin. But according to Steeler Nation insiders, Tomlin isn't going anywhere. The Steelers have not won a postseason game under Tomlin since 2016. They dropped 4 straight wild card games since. Bernie Sanders memes were a thing. Even Marvin Lewis is like, what the fuck? The Browns started it. Fuck the Steelers. And in Cleveland local news, morning drive time host Ken Carman is the latest local big shot to take passive-aggressive digs at Cleveland Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski. Joining us tonight with the Dawg Chug Update editorial is our Dawg Chug Stefanski correspondent and Squad Post host, Stefanski Girl. Lana, welcome to Dawg Chug Update. What do you got?
Why, thank you, Roger. I am so glad that you asked me to come on tonight and talk about this. And you know what, Ken? I love you. We met at the Keepers Foundation. You are very lovely. But I have to say, you are wrong. You are wrong. In his comment there, he was saying that before this comment, he was saying, if you see the 2-time coach of the year and then 2-time coach of the year, better coach him up. Kevin has coached in his 4 years here, well, 5 years, whatever you want to say, 11 quarterbacks. 11 quarterbacks.
I always say, Lana, 11 is 2 number ones.
That's right. That's right. And here's the thing. When you think about it, when you think back through all those quarterbacks, when you think about the Joe Flacco era, you think about Jacoby Brissett being here and even Baker Mayfield, you didn't hear from any of those key players in the locker room. None at all. Nope. Not at all. You didn't hear from any of them. They were all happy as clams. You get that TikTok dancing cancer in.
What's wrong with dancing?
Well, I don't know. When you have a ruptured Achilles, you probably shouldn't be dancing.
I do not. I have 2 good Achilles.
That's right. So again, love you, Ken. But I think Kevin can coach just about anyone.
What about this one right here?
Okay. So Mr. Z,
boy.
this was a tweet that Mr. Z sent to me after he finally gets fired into the 25-26 season. Will you follow him where he goes? First and foremost, everyone, I am a Cleveland Browns fan. Okay. So my heart is with my team, but I'm also a Kevin Stefanski fan. So yes, I'm going to tell you right now if Kevin Stefanski got fired within 24 hours, that hot man has got a job somewhere else, right? Am I right? He's got a job
You're right.
somewhere else.
I agree. Yep.
And on both counts, that he's hot and he's going to have a job. Okay. He's going to have a job. And when he gets to that job, he's going to take that team to either a playoff or to the Super Bowl, right? And guess where I'm going to be? I am going to follow him and I'm going to be right behind his ass. So when that camera goes by, I'm going to be like, hey, Mr. Z, how are you? This is where I'm at. I followed Kevin and his team.
So are you pushing down his wife and hugging him after he wins the Super Bowl, or how's that going to go?
You know
Yes.
that's happening. You know that's happening. You know she's running on the field.
I will be on that field fast.
like Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, right? You're going to get that,
Yes.
get that moment. And what about this one? We got another one here, Lana, for you.
Yes, Tyler. Now, Tyler and I generally agree on a lot of things. There are a lot of things that Tyler has said through the years that I'm like, hey, and he's always had Kevin's back, I feel like. And now here in this tweet, we're not going to read through the whole thing, but he's insinuating that because Kevin has this year that, he needs to be fired. Well, here's the thing, Tyler. Since 1999, the Cleveland Browns have had 4 winning seasons, 2 of which have been under Kevin Stefanski. 2. So he, I think, it's a situation where he has no weapons at all in this last season. You saw, we were all there.
Yeah, James Thrash. Does he scare anybody? Does come on, the weapons at wide receiver once they got rid of Amari Cooper.
And
This was the saddest season I've seen in eternity.
Right. And people act like, okay, let's just be real here. Jameis Winston, love the guy. Love Father Preacher Winston, whatever you want to call him, right? Love him to pieces. But that guy came out of the womb throwing pick sixes. And do you really think that Kevin Stefanski was like, hey, Jameis, go out there and throw some pick sixes? No. He's dealing with what he had to deal with and what was given to him. I don't think he's had much say in who he's had in.
Winston gave more to the other team than Biden gave to Ukraine. It's just...
The gift that keeps on giving. The gift that keeps on giving.
It is. I think Kevin has proved himself that he is not the entire problem. Okay. I know there are some opportunity areas, pre-snap penalties, blah, 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 blah. But
Yeah, I like fairness. There you go.
But in all fairness,
There's problems.
and can I also make one little point too?
Yes.
Everybody jumping up and down. We want Kevin to go with the play calling. How did that go for you?
3-14.
Where's the guy? Where's the guy that was doing the play calling? And you could see Kevin's face after a play call. Have you ever seen so much emotion on Kevin Stefanski since he gave those play calling? No, he was like you could just see how angry he was with the call that was, the play that was
It's
called.
like when I tell my kids to do something.
Right. Oh, he was so mad. I was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, so how'd that go? Mm-hmm.
Not very well. Well, you know what, Lana? Thank you for that editorial. That was awesome.
That's
And
right.
we'll go back
Thank
to
you.
Roger with some more updates.
And in all fairness, Tyler Johnson's just a cuck that says whatever's popular and straddles the fence on everything and really doesn't have the balls to go either way on anything. He just front runs and bandwagons on the Buckeyes. Other than that, I don't have. All right. I'm sorry. Are we still live?
Network, no one cares. Go ahead, Roger.
All
No
right.
one cares.
Fans have had enough of Tony Romo, and many were outraged this past weekend, claiming Romo alluded to the game being over 3 times before the fourth quarter even began. Some even went as far as accusing him of glazing Josh Allen like a 14-year-old fanboy. If Romo is indeed headed for the chopping block, he can easily land a job at Cleveland fans' digital fish wrap, the Orange and Brown Report, who is hiring and looking for special and specific type of Browns writers. If fanboying is what Romo likes to do, he'll feel right at home because there's plenty of 14-year-old glazing going on at the Orange Fanboy Report. Their staff of special and specific fanboys range from a British mathematician who wants to eat maybe 3 more W's and 20 more interceptions with Jameis Winston as a bridge in 2025. And there's plenty of bandwagon bucknuts who turned a day 3 Buckeye into a top 10 pick with one quick mock draft, all because a lazy right tackle from Texas whiffed on his block and mailed it in for the year. Here at Dawg Chug, we wonder if the OBR can pull together the assets to land a talent like Tony Romo. And exactly what would it take? Maybe the staff can sell some prized fanboy possessions like a signed pair of OBJ shoes, a never worn Deshaun Watson game jersey, and there's a couple staffers. They're even willing to sell their Pokemon card collections to package together a Romo offer if he becomes available. I'm Roger First in Cuyahoga Falls. Are there any questions?
Wow. I don't got any questions after that was.
That's
That was
great.
fabulous.
Wow. Yeah, we're not going to make any friends tonight, and that's okay. That's
Yeah.
yeah. It happens. It happens.
Need some big friends. I got enough friends.
Yeah, Elf man. What do you say? What do you think about that? Was Roger a little salacious tonight? A little, what would you?
I'm gonna tell. I want to speak on Kevin.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
want to speak on Kevin.
Okay.
He's part of the problem. I mean, yes, he's one, but he is part of the problem. This was so ugly. This was
Agreed.
this year was so ugly that this dude, he gave up the play calling. I believe they brought in Dorsey because that's when Kevin jumped off the boat. That's when he was off the Watson wagon, when he had to fire his OC.
Van Pelt.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
That's when
Van Pelt,
Stefanski, and I
Right.
believe that this year he kind of mailed it in. He let things fall where they fell. I believe he let it burn down. So this was.
I kind of agree with you on that, to where he just like, all right, you want to hire these coaches and change everything I'm doing? Here you go. It's all fucking yours. I agree. I think he should have stepped down from play calling from day one
And
when they forced Dorsey on him.
And I promise you, be all the way up until Deshaun Watson had the second tear. Andrew Berry completely intended on him to be quarterback of the Browns this coming season.
Of course he did.
He
because they
had
sunk
to.
that money into that idiot.
This had to happen to justify that deal. This dude's ass should have been gone. Him and Depot should have been on the bus out. And I could see giving Kevin a second shot by him going out and hiring the offensive lineman he did was, I think, in him promoting the kid, the tight end coach.
Yeah, Tommy
That's
Reese.
him. That's him taking his. That's him taking his offense back. That's kind of like Debo snatching the chain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like this is.
But
And now it'll
like
be
you
up to
said
him. If this year goes bad, Kevin's done. You will have to follow him, Lena.
I think
I
also,
will.
but I think that's why he spoke in I terms as last time, when he spoke to the media after the season. This is what I'm going to do. And you never heard that from Kevin Stefanski
No.
before. It was always a
You don't
collaborative
hear
effort.
the eyes.
We're all
Yeah.
walking lockstep. And so I think he's taken control. I think last year he did wash his hands of it. I
think that's what I think that they
but
were
I don't
all
think he was
together.
part of the problem. I think he just didn't want to be part. There was nothing it was their problem. They created
Well, yeah,
it.
but I mean,
You know?
well, like part of the problem is because I think he washed his hands of it. And as a coach, I mean, yeah, you can do that, but still,
Oh yeah.
he's lucky he gets the mulligan. You know what I'm saying? He's lucky Jimmy Haslam is the owner. A lot of owners he would not have returned. Neither would have Andrew Berry. This one deal would have broke that. Like no GM in the NFL would get this kind of mulligan. To trade away what Barry traded, to give the contract. I'm not saying that he shouldn't have swung for the fences because there's people out there that are, that's my GM. I want him to do that. That's great. I want him to make a big trade. But if you miss, there's a consequence. If you're the head coach and you win 3 games, there's got to be a consequence. You know what I mean? Like there can't be.
I think the one thing that none of us know and nobody out there knows except a few people is what really goes on behind obviously the closed doors and all these meetings. We don't know.
Naked Twister.
What?
There you
Naked
go,
Twister.
Right. You probably play Naked Twister and whoever loses. But they
Haslam's a hillbilly.
This, I feel like this year, Kevin, if you watch how things shifted, I feel like he was told, you are not going to do the play. We're taking this over. We're going to this is who you have as your players. We're taking away your play calling. But I have never seen him look that frustrated in a season in my life. I don't think he wants to lose. He doesn't want to lose. That's not in him to lose. I think they took this from him. And just like he said at the end, like, okay, F you guys, I did it your way. And you know what? I'm taking back over. I'm hiring this fucker and I'm hiring this guy and I'm bringing this guy in. And
that's
I'm so
the way
happy
it felt this offseason to me. Him, as soon as it was over, Dorsey's fired. He hires the coach that learned under Callahan, and he talks to Kubiak. Now, whether Kubiak turned the coaching job down or whether they decided not to go with them, that's a story for another time. But by him promoting this guy, it's Kevin's system. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude, he's gonna give Kevin advice.
He's gonna fetch his coffee.
He's gonna help make game plan, like EVP, like he did game plan stuff like that. Like it'll be
they all have
responsibility, but it's gonna be Kevin's again.
It will work. We know his plan will work.
Yeah, it will. You can run.
But let him work it.
This is a shocking new thing. If you play defense and you run the football and you win at the line of scrimmage, you win a lot of football.
You might win 11 games and go to the playoffs, right?
Imagine that.
We see what he can do.
No one can tell me that at the end of the year, even though they lost the way they did to the Texans, that a head coach sat down with the general manager and said, yeah, we can't use that Flacco next year. We just can't have that. You know what? We need to go out. We need to find a better motivator than this old dude that hopped up off the couch and you know what I'm saying? One comeback player. Yeah, we need something a little bit better than that. Now, that's not to say that he's the answer to anything. He would have been the answer to anything. but
Right.
this is some common sense that you knew the fuckery was afoot in Berea, and
Fuckery.
AB's
Ding,
200
ding,
and
ding.
some $1 million deal that De Podesta had to sign. There's no way that kind of money that dude wasn't involved. It said, okay, that this is how we're going to do.
Amen.
Yeah. Well, I want to get Lana's perspective on this because obviously we have a female perspective tonight. But Elfman, you alluded that Stefanski wasn't on his game this year, and that's
He was
obviously the
not.
record 3-14. But Lana, was he on his game? How was his beard week in and week out? What the looks? Does he look like he aged like a president this year? Tell us the
He
state
did.
of Kevin Stefanski's
Well, that's-
looks. The audience wants to know.
I'm telling you, for one thing, we are aging Kevin Stefanski. I mean, but
My
he's
wife
aging,
calls him the Silver Fox.
He
She loves the
is.
dude herself. So.
yes, he's aging gracefully. He's doing it well. But when he walked off that plane, I don't know if you guys, I have the picture of it. When he walked off the plane, he had dark hair, dark beard, and literally he is like white.
See, I think Cleveland naturally does that, but then you put him on the brand. Never mind. I'm sorry, Cleveland. I'm sorry.
I'm telling you, it's been a thing.
I'm sorry, but before we get into other festivities, I have a special treat for one Elfman tonight. Now, obviously, we if you get on Brown's X every day, you are treated to a good morning, my fellow Browns followers, with
We
Looney
love it.
Tunes, with Looney Tunes. And tonight we have a special top 10 inspired by you, Brownie Alf. So here we go.
All right.
Tonight's top 10 reasons the Cleveland Browns are like Looney Tunes.
I love this one too. This was a
Number
good pick.
10, the team stinks like Pepe Le Pew. Number 9, as Daffy Duck would say, Deshaun Watson, you're despicable.
Mhm.
Number 8, Jimmy Haslam and Fonghorn Langhorn both talk like hillbillies. Number 7, like Yosemite Sam, the Browns are trigger happy, restructuring deals. Number 6, Browns fans waiting for a Super Bowl, suffering succotash.
Yeah.
Number 5, Myles Garrett is like Speedy Gonzalez when he comes around the edge. Yeah, that's a positive. There you
That's
That's good.
racist.
go.
A little bit.
Number 4, the Browns game plans go splat like Wile E. Coyote.
I love
That is
Wyatt.
true.
Number 3, carrots. Bugs Bunny eats them, and Browns players have plenty on their jewelry, just not Super Bowl rings.
Oh.
Mm.
Number 2, just like Elmer Fudd, who can't get Bugs Bunny, the Browns can't get a franchise quarterback. And the number 1 reason why the Cleveland
Oh.
Browns are like Looney Tunes is by week 10. Ba-dee. That's all, folks.
That's it.
That's tonight's top 10.
That's a wrap.
Well done, Ed.
That was fab.
That was very good.
That was
That
very
was great, Ed.
By week 10,
Hey, that-
we're figuring out where we're going to land in the draft.
good.
At least with the second pick in the draft, we are back in our wheelhouse, people. We all know this is where we live. This is where Brown fans shine. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
In the draft is it, you know?
That
This
is
is
so
In our misery together.
Yes, I'm going to spend hours watching the combine that actually means absolutely jack shit.
I know.
And doesn't mean anything, but I'm going to watch it anyway. And then I'm going to guess who the Browns are going to pick, and none of them are going to be correct either. So good times are coming.
Well, at least you don't spend like all your life like writing for some of these publications and such and wasting your time and putting all together all these mock drafts, and you're just wrong anyways. At least you don't do that. So
I enjoy. I'll watch Mike go out there and he'll argue with these guys that are, the know-it-alls. And Mike, they're never fucking right. None of them,
No.
because they write with their heart. And you're writing about the Cleveland Browns, and you're writing with your heart. You're gonna be fucking wrong all the time, man. You know what I mean? When
There
you
is a
date back-
harsh.
there's guys out there that people like just follow like it's the fucking Bible, scripture, right? And they not only year 1, not year 2, but all 3 years claim Deshaun Watson's going to be a fucking movie, man. Article after article this summer. How now with Ken Dorsey, they were all fucking wrong, man, because they write with their heart. they're not
I'm gonna-
objective.
No.
You know, and I want you to go after them, and I go after them a little bit. I know most of them, so I try to not to. But it's because they write with their heart. They're not objective.
I'm trying
They
not to
think
get
they're
blocked
fucking
by
objective.
you know what I
They
mean.
think
I'm
they're
just
objective.
Elfman,
trying not
go
to get
after him.
blocked
Go
by it.
after him, Elfman. Go after him.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, like, because to be honest with you, for the last year, it has been very difficult for me because I try not to be very confrontational. I don't try to be rude to people. You know what I mean?
Right.
But there's a lot of dudes that if you didn't know by the end of last year, when they didn't do nothing with the offensive line, they stood pat on the tackles and in the center, and we switched out. We've got a dude that no one's heard of as the offensive line coach, who doesn't run the same scheme that the team runs. Like you, it was over before it began this year.
Mhm.
And people actually like, and not myself, all my hope was on the defense.
Me
And
too.
and I don't want to, because you never know. Like some of these dudes start to watch these shows. Ed's becoming a popular guy. He's on every podcast. You know what I'm saying? Martin Emerson, if you're watching, your fall needs studied, young man. I do not know what happened to you, but it needs studied.
Mhm.
This defense fell apart because one half of the field can't guard any wide receivers. Nobody. They couldn't. Didn't matter that Denzel Ward can lock down Moses over there if he was, you know what I'm saying, if he was in cleats, but you can't guard anybody else on the other side of the field.
Yeah.
I never saw anything like it. I
Mm-mm.
mean, it was over, you know. And those guys, you saw the confusion in the blocks. Even like the first 5-6 weeks, you had like some of these dudes that been playing together a long time look lost.
Mhm.
Like
They were, because they
They
tried
did.
to install a system that didn't make sense to anybody because they were catering to a guy that can't run a system.
in one
Do
off
you
season,
understand?
Roger,
You know, nobody understands. The guy
in
don't
one
know how to
off
run. What do
season,
yeah.
a new offensive coordinator, a new scheming system, a new offensive line coach, and 2 damaged tackles. One dude should not even be a starting tackle in the NFL.
Exactly.
He should not. This is
Mm-mm.
not. He hadn't shown
He
anything
shouldn't have been the number
for
10
2
overall pick.
years.
No.
For 2 years,
Terrible pick.
nobody could tell me that they felt
Whatever,
for the
yeah.
last 2 seasons that Big Jed, was a starting quality left tackle in the NFL. Nobody.
They
If you
could have
were
had
saying-
Tristan
you were lying.
Wirfs, and they passed on him.
Hey, I like to interrupt this program
Yeah.
to remind everybody that I argued with Joe Thomas on draft night that Tristan Wirfs was the guy to
I
pick.
remember that.
He's a Big Ten tackle.
Yeah.
Why are you, Joe Thomas, not saying yes, take the Big Ten tackle, being a Big Ten tackle? And I
Yeah.
understand why today. And he ended up
Because
leaving
Andrew
the
Gray
country,
made the
going to,
pick.
he ended up going to Germany and leaving the country after that argument.
Wow.
Because he was so wrong.
Roger
And I realized
drove it from the
why he
States.
didn't want Tristan Wirfs is because he didn't want another goat following him. Is what he didn't want.
Roger's deporting people
Oh.
before Trump takes office. It's crazy.
Right?
Yes, he is. He's sending people overseas.
Wow.
It's true.
Wow. Well,
But I'm
think
right. I'm right.
You're hey,
I
you
got a-
are right. You're
I
right.
got a whole bookmark file called "I'm Right."
Roger's
I'm right.
receipts. Roger's receipts. We got
That's
a
right.
folder. Got a folder. But I think it's now time to
18,000 tweets in there.
yeah, it's huge. But I think it's time that we get into our our biggest segment, one that we're known for, Spit Sip Chug, a game with so much acclaim. And yes, I did give it its name. And hey, Elfman, we will start with you. I will say a statement. It is a statement. It is not a question. I will say that statement. If you heavily agree with that statement, you will chug. If you disagree with that statement wholeheartedly, you will spit. And you don't have to actually literally spit like Andy does and makes his wife clean it up. That's a sick man. But if you want to just sip because you're lukewarm about it, you feel free to do that. And we will start with you, Mike. And this one's a fun one. It's been in the news recently. The city of Cleveland taking the Browns to court is just a cash grab. What say you, health man. Okay, little sip.
Why not?
Okay. Care to expound on that sip?
Well, to be honest with you, I think this is bullshit.
Okay.
They're gone. They're gone. They're going to Brook Park. They need to just go ahead and leave it be. And I don't even know that with this lawsuit, if they're even actually going to be able to get anything. Like I think it's nothing. Like I don't think there's anything they can do.
Yeah. I tend to agree with that, but you know what? My voice is getting a little parched, so I'm actually going to chug.
Yeah.
I do think it's a cash grab, and I think honestly, it's wasting taxpayers' dollars if they're using it through the legal system because having to pay the lawyers and such. Look, Mayor Justin Bibb, you lost. You lost. They are going to Brook Park, and it reminds me a little bit of the.
They should have done whatever they wanted to do to keep that build downtown, and they didn't. And
well, once again, it's the ineptitude of the politicians in Cleveland. It happened in 1995 with Mayor Michael White. Luckily, this time the Browns are moving to Brook Park instead of Baltimore. But at the same time, it's politicians that, once again, I don't know what they do. The city of Cleveland has many issues. Talk about potholes. We won't even get into that. But you talk about the services of Cleveland. Cleveland is a great city. I love Cleveland. I only make fun of Cleveland because I think it's a place that could be better. And unfortunately, the politicians in Cleveland have kind of held it back for 100 years. You have a lakefront. You have a fucking lakefront that could be fully developed with restaurants, hotels, but instead you want to keep the stadium there that's falling apart for 8 home games and maybe a Taylor Swift concert in July or SummerSlam, which was cool, by the way. But basically you're getting 9 events to 10 events a year, wasted space on the lakefront. And then you know what I'm saying? And then you have this airport, and all of that is lakefront. So when those hillbillies came up from Tennessee, Dee Haslam even said, how do you not use that lakefront? You look at Chicago with a magnificent mile. Cleveland is a great city with a natural wonder as Lake Erie kind of is, having that natural awesome water.
You can run along the whole top of the states for the love of God. You could develop it all
of it. But when Cleveland decides, nope, we're not going to do that. So I am chugging on that. I think it is a cash grab. I think it's Justin Bibb's last attempt to try to get the Haslam to pay, and maybe rightfully so if he can get a large cash settlement from him. I don't know, but I definitely think
they're going to try to get something. I don't know because I don't know the legal part of it. But that's all. They'll just try to get like a parting gift.
Exactly. Rightfully said. Roger, what's your take on this?
I'm chugging. It's absolutely a cash grab. You know what? Everybody's writing, and I have to agree. How Bibb doesn't impress me with as a Rhodes Scholar. Cleveland politicians, they're all nitwits, but this particular move isn't stupid. They know what they're doing because this is the only way they're going to get money out of Haslam. Yeah. Because what they're losing, and they don't care about the county is still going to maintain and even increase revenue 13 miles away or 12 miles away. They want to know, we have this chunk of property that 8 times a year on Sundays, we make enough money to pay for, and then the parking and the muni lot and all that is a big chunk of change. They just want a check from Haslam's. And this is the only way to get it because the taxpayers actually own that building. And this is what you're doing to the city of Cleveland, the taxpayers. So it's to get a commitment from Haslam's group to develop the lakefront. And if I'm Jimmy Haslam at that point, I'm in on that. I'm in on building some hotels and some restaurants and even making
absolutely.
You know what I mean?
That would be that would be Haslamville up along it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It would be
the whole capital gain money for them.
He'd develop it all.
But this is where they should have decommissioned Burke Lakefront 5 years ago. We have plenty. We have county airports. Like I live 5 minutes from Kent Airport. You know what I mean? There's airports big enough to handle the traffic that comes into Burke and what kind of air traffic comes into Burke without stressing out Hopkins Airport. You know what I mean? That's a big chunk of land down there that there's some dirty money involved in that maintaining the way it's being maintained. Maybe the Colombians are flying in. We got to get Trump on it.
There it is.
Wow. Right. Good answer, Roger. Good answer. Lana.
All right, I'm chugging on that.
Yep.
It's a quick chug. The bib is a people pleaser.
Yeah.
Number one.
It's here. This is what I did for you. Look,
He's going to say that.
I,
right.
I punished him.
Yep. And of course, he wants to get more money. But I didn't read the story, but I did get a news alert that the attorney general is trying to stop the whole thing. So I think I did, like I said, I saw it before I came down to get on to Sherry's show at 9. So I didn't get to click through and read it, but there is something happening there, FYI, guys. But yeah, definitely cash grab.
Okay. All right. Well, we would have, and I will say one thing, a new twist to this whole spit, sip, chug is if we all agree, then we all would take a chug. But since Mike decided to sip on that one, we don't get.
Well, fuck, man. I mean, I've
Fuck it. We're all chugging. Let's chug. All right, fuck it. Yeah, called the audible on that one. I love it. So,
there we go.
Okay.
Okay. Now this one is inspired. Like I said, once again, behind the curtain, Dawg Chug production. We have our own little chat, obviously, as a show. And Andy, who was on assignment tonight, sometimes he says, Ed, it's your segment, make these statements. But I know sometimes he likes to inject himself into this. And this one, you know what? I listened to him because he's our supreme commander. And so this one goes out to you, Andy. So statement number 2, and I'll start with myself here. Under no circumstances should the Browns sign Daniel Jones. I am going to spit on this one only because I thought of this when I was driving home today. How fun would it be if we got Daniel Jones with the Browns winning games and we could all be singing some kind of parody, Mr. Jones and me, little Counting Crows action. We could have some fun with that. So that's about the only thing I got to say about Daniel Jones. And other than that, hell no. So Roger.
I didn't think of the Counting Crows angle. I can write up a song. Give me 10 minutes. I'll write up a parody of that song with, Danny Dimes. When I changed my mind in the chat when Andy put it in our production chat earlier today. And I gave my answer, he gave his, and then I sipped on it. And I'm going to sip on it. It's interesting. My point was Baker Mayfield. I'm wrong with Baker, what he said about Danny Dimes. He couldn't believe that the Giants drafted him, at whatever. Remember that?
Yeah, number 6.
And then that was in the GQ article, and he backtracked on that. And but you know what, man? Quarterbacks are rushed into service in the NFL. What's going on with the
little lyrics to that Counting Crows? Thanks, Force of Nature, for finishing that off.
Yeah, man.
I love that.
I love. I'm singing "Holiday in Spain" in my head right now. I'm losing track of because that song's in my head. What was I saying? No, Daniel Jones. You know what? A lot of quarterbacks
you were good with
are
Daniel
rushing
Jones
to service. They're rushing to service way too early in the NFL. They're drafted high. I heard Ken Carman today saying that, oh no, we don't have to play the number 2 overall if we draft them right away. Bullshit, you don't.
Right.
Especially if the veteran you bring in, like Tyrod Taylor, falters, and somebody's got to come in and open the fucking fridges for him. You know what I mean? The rookie. Fuck yeah, you got to play the rookie if you draft them 1 or 2 overall. Yeah. I don't even want to hear that nonsense. You're going to develop them. That is a fantasy in the NFL, the developing thing.
I mean, look at Jaden Daniels.
But you look at a guy like Sam Darnold, rushed in, thrown into the fire. Daniel Jones was thrown into the New York Giants, into New York media, and really, who was his head coach? Dable who was before him? No, I can't even keep track. They fired. He almost had the same career path that Baker had with the head coaching carousel, and offensive coordinators. Maybe if you give him some stability, who knows what a guy like that can be in 3, 4, 5 years after he's drafted and considered a bust. You know what I mean? There's no college coach getting paid to teach a quarterback how to be an NFL quarterback. A college coach in their system is paid to win national championships, especially now with the NFL. Nobody's training quarterbacks to be a pro quarterback. They're training them to win in college. Right. And there's a gap in development with quarterbacks and the NFL. They got to figure it out, or these guys are going to be first and second round picks. They're going to be busts, and then they're going to be maybe if they're lucky, get a chance like Sam Darnold to, get paid.
Resurrect their career.
Right.
So yeah, I'm
But-
sipping on it.
Okay.
I just want to say though, Roger, that I don't know if you know this, but Kevin Stefanski does do a training with the rookies
There you
on
go. Well,
coming
I'm
into
chugging.
the NFL from college. He actually spoke about it once.
Well, I'm chugging then too. Fuck it.
I'm switching to chug. I'm switching to chug on it.
Something changed years ago. Roger, we've been around a long time. A guy
Easy.
went to college. He was there for 4 years. He was drafted. He sat 2 years. This was almost like a like you just
A rite of
2 years.
passage.
It was 2 years.
Mhm.
So you had 6 years of playing and clipboarding before you ever took snaps as an NFL quarterback.
Yes.
Now, dudes come, you literally have cats playing one season and coming out and are in the NFL. And like you dude took a break. He come off the sideline for the Colts. It was like, man, I need 5. I need to tap out.
Anthony Richardson.
This shit is real. Like,
Yeah.
like he
It's a lot
taps
of
out. You know what I'm
pressure.
saying? Like Daniel Jones. But anyway, Daniel Jones, I'm gonna sip on it.
Okay.
He's
All
got
right.
something
Well,
that it's a natural
help
gift.
is
He
double
can
dipping.
run.
He can run.
Any
yeah.
quarterback that can run, that can be physical, that can get you 70 yards with his legs, I'll take a chance on. If he's athletic like that, because you can't coach that.
Yeah.
That's a natural gift.
Right.
Who knows
You know.
what he can do in a different system, in a Stefanski
Mhm.
system?
Right. Let this dude.
I think that's the thought around the NFL is it's all right. He may not have succeeded. Let's plug him into this and you know what I mean. Where a guy's Brock Purdy isn't gonna play well in say Miami system. You know what I mean? He's a guy that's got to play in the system
Play
that he's in.
action, bootleg.
Shanahan.
Play
Yeah.
action, bootleg. Play action, bootleg. Like you run the ball, play action, bootleg. Run the ball.
That's the problem. No college coaches are teaching that in college. It's all RPO. It's all spread. Nobody's running play action.
So I take it,
bootleg in
Lana, you're
college.
chugging then because because of
ahead.
That's
Kevin
winning
Stefanski,
football.
right?
Yeah.
That's
Well,
winning football.
Are
Right?
you going to actually sip though?
Big sip though, big sip, right? Big sip because
I'm not
Kevin.
a huge fan
Yeah.
of Daniel Jones. That's why I'm not chugging. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a sip.
I was kind of no-ish on him though
Mhm.
yesterday, and then today, actually, when I was driving home, they were on 92.3 The Fan. I was listening to them. They were talking about him and about how well he would potentially fit into Kevin's
He
system. and
kicked
I thought,
our ass this year. I mean, just saying, he kicked our ass.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
I
yes. I mean, you're not. It's
I'm-
not
I'm-
wrong.
Right.
I mean,
like,
Danny
yeah,
Dimes us and shit.
you're not wrong, So yeah. So I would have spit yesterday, and now I'm sipping today.
Fair enough.
Because I'm
All
telling
right.
you,
Well done.
always remember, you can't teach athleticism.
Yeah.
You know what
No.
I'm saying? Like that's if
You gotta
either
read
these
out.
guys under center
Thank
have
God
that
I got
natural
it.
gift, then that's
I'll tell
to
you this.
me,
I'll take a young guy like Danny Dimes. I'll take him or maybe even Mac Jones. I take a guy like that over a Kirk Cousins or a Joe Flacco or Aaron Rodgers or any of these washed, aged veterans. I would take a younger guy that probably was pushed into the fire too soon.
Yeah.
Everybody that
Probably
is
could
ready-
be an NFL quarterback.
everybody
I
that
take
is
that over. I take him over Dak Prescott.
Oh yeah. Oh
Fuck
yeah.
Dak Prescott.
everyone's selling their
that.
soul right now to believe Kirk Cousins is the answer. Everyone watching, I just want you
Kirk
guys to
Cousins
realize
can't move. I can move.
Kirk
like
Cousins never moved well prior to his injury. Look at all the old stuff from Washington to Minnesota. He's not a mobile dude. He doesn't
Hey.
run well.
If you're going to
He
get
just
Kirk
tore
Cousins,
his
you better
leg
go
up.
a whole new
Watch
offensive
him.
line. Right.
Watch
Right.
him.
He's
You're
a
gonna
man
put
of the
him behind
people that
this line?
shops at Kohl's. He shops at
He's
Kohl's.
not. Yeah.
I don't like that.
I'm sorry,
Kohl's
Kirk.
bus, Kohl's bus, Kohl's cash, right?
That's
Well, you
right.
got us all fired up there, Ed. You got
Yeah,
us
I
all
know,
fired
I
up.
know. This is spirited tonight.
Yeah, you
Spirited
I'm
tonight.
sorry, man. Okay.
Well, hey, if I'm going to fire you guys up, I think this one might fire us up some more. We'll start with you, Roger. So, statement number 3: Deshaun Watson's setback is a Browns blessing.
Oh, we're all chugging. I have a feeling.
I know. That's what I want. That's
Go ahead,
what
Roger.
It's a softball.
Come on,
I
Raj.
mean, how his arrest
Get
and
2.
jailed or just all of it's a yeah, it's a blessing,
Chug,
man.
chug, chug, chug.
Chug, chug, chug.
I'm
chug.
chugging because it's just he was so. They said it today, and I don't pay for the Athletic. I did for a while, and I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm reading Fanboys. I'm paying for it. So, but I read the screenshots, and somebody said that there's just a ominous cloud hanging over whenever the dude was around, and you felt it as a fan, you felt it just, and what made it, what I disliked Deshaun Watson, I had his back with the whole massage hooker thing. I think he was blackballed. I think he was set up by the Texans and by these women, and I think maybe 1 or 2 women got caught up into it that was actually masseuse on Instagram. Elf, tell your wife that you need a massage and you're going to go hop over to some girl you found on
The Graham,
Instagram.
baby. That's where it's at,
You know what I
right?
mean?
All the love is on the
It
gram.
said the Graham. It's on the Graham.
But like the dude he didn't give a shit, man.
Only about
So the setback is a blessing, and then you talk to the mathematician, the British guy's out of it. He's just happy as can be with this. He's got more math to do. So that's good. So yeah, it's a blessing because he won't be around. Hopefully, he's still on the roster technically. So I'm still hate the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
I still hate the Cleveland Browns technically. But there's light at the end of the tunnel, at least for this season. I didn't see any light until, at least 2026, 27. So, yeah. So it is a blessing.
Lana, I think I know your answer here.
I'm chugging. It's high noon.
Both.
No, agree. I think we're all done. I think we were all done before. I mean, we were done, as soon as he was injured in that Bengals game, I think we were all done. The booing of him off the field, whatever else. I think that was a big sign. He's just been like I said before, he's just been this like black cloud cancer over this team ever since he came on. And I don't think all those women are lying. I think there's definitely quite a few that jumped on the bandwagon, but I think there's quite a few that were not lying. And I think,
I mean, under the law, one's too many. I mean,
what I'm saying?
I mean, right.
But yeah, I am so happy that I don't have to see that guy with the towel on his head, sitting on the side with his, not communicating with anyone.
He's a pariah. He's definitely a pariah right now.
Elf
man, I got to figure. I know what you. Yeah, oh yeah, there's that show. Yeah.
So I said we're all chugging. We should have done it together.
Yeah,
now, when I don't think they should. I personally always felt Baker should have got 1 more year healthy.
Yep.
I think the shoulder. If anyone watch how he throws a football, the way he loads up his body and twists to
torque.
He's got a torquey kind of throw. You could tell that the injury messed with his accuracy.
Mm-hmm.
After it got ugly, they should have sat him down. They'd never. So for those people that say he wasn't ready, mature, whatever. Okay. So they went out and they got a dude that people were calling the Michael Jordan of football. He had this amazing, and he did. He had one of the best statistical seasons any quarterback has ever had. Andrew Berry decided, I'm going to do whatever I got to do to get that dude. And he did. He got his guy. Him and DePodesta, they are like any other general manager. They want their guy. Baker wasn't theirs. they got their guy. And their guy now, sadly, people are like, his second ACL tear is a blessing, and it's on the Dawg Chug, and people are excited or pleased that this dude is now more than likely has taken his last snap at least this year. As I don't believe he'll play this year at all. I don't think he'll play at all. I think he'll miss the entire year. And if he does come back, it'll be towards the very end, the last. Like if there's some sort of bullshit to where, for him to get all his money, he's got to get in a couple weeks or so. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll be something like that. But I don't think he'll take I don't think he'll actually play this year. Next year will be something else. And I'm sure the mathematician has that figured out. That
this is how we do it. This is how we don't do it.
This is how we don't play football.
Definitely. That was a definite chug.
This is how we get paid and don't play football.
This is how we scam the system.
Yeah, exactly. So once I chug here, I won't.
I want to say something, you guys, and I'm sorry. And nothing against my man over there who does the math, because it's kind of cool that he's able to do that, but it's also I want people to think about something for a minute. There's a dude sitting over in Britain who can look at more or less a math equation and tell you guys who the Browns are going to sign as a defensive tackle or something, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because of his X number will match this X number. Now, let me ask you, any of you guys who have watched any football for any length of time, who have studied anything in football for any length of time, does that even remotely sound like that should work or would work? That you would be able to do a mathematical equation to kind of figure out, well, yeah, this dude will work. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how we chose a football player. This is how, like, you almost can tell that that's what the hell they were doing in that front office. That this is how they're looking at some of their players.
Yeah, how's that working out?
That is insane.
Right.
That is insane.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree.
Yeah, moving along. I'm sorry.
I like very, very, very. Look, when you're on the show, it's your show. Hey, so here's the deal. I'm chugging, and I'll say this: in last week's Breakhead News, you should never cheer an injury, but an injury of an injury, that's fair game, and that's why I'm chugging. And guess what, guys? Baby. We're all chugging now. We're all chugging.
Yeah, I don't get because I don't want no one hurt. You know what I'm saying? But since he is,
agree.
Yeah. Right. Can't change time.
Listen,
I'm fortunate that he don't have to play for the Browns.
When I played in the 8th grade CYO, I broke the quarterback for St. Luke's arm. I stood over him like Robert L. Stonewall fucking Jackson. The referees dragged me away. I wanted to break his other fucking arm. It's football. Don't it? It's football. He fucking lived. I don't want to hear it. I played the game. I buckled the chin strap. When I hurt somebody on defense, I fucking enjoyed it. And these guys go out there, they fucking enjoy it. Don't let them.
And that's why you're a Lions fan, like Dan Campbell. You're just like Dan Campbell.
That's right. Well, and the other thing is, let's all remember here, the setback is due to him dancing. Okay, and traveling,
have my move.
And running all around.
He can't move like I do. He can't.
Is that real? Like I'm gonna tell you right now. In the world of fake news, you know what I'm saying? Is that really how he did that?
I know that's.
I mean, yeah. Is that really? Was it him messing around and doing some dance shit?
He wasn't wearing. He wasn't wearing his boot like he was supposed to, from what I understand. Yeah. Like I was telling Ed, I have an Achilles tendonitis right now. I have been living in a brace since October. Since October, and I have not been jumping around. I've been very careful. And I see him in all these videos doing whatever. And that's why they're saying that there could be a breach of his contract because he was not following doctor's orders.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, I promise you.
Morning.
that hillbilly from Tennessee, I'd be willing to bet you he'd like to get a little bit of this cash back if he can get it. So if he really was doing something he wasn't supposed to, they're going to try to get out of this deal.
Well,
That's
hopefully
what
that
they're looking
hillbilly.
for.
Hey,
Yeah.
I promise you, every Bear fan, every Viking fan, every Lion fan, when Aaron Rodgers fucking Achilles snapped like a guitar string and they showed it, they felt the same way I felt when I saw Deshaun Watson's fucking Achilles snap like a. Oh, that's a shame. You know what I mean? Because it's football. And
darn.
anybody that says different is a fucking liar, and they're virtue signaling, and they're full of shit, and don't watch football. Don't watch football if that don't get you fired up. I don't give a shit.
Man is
I
short
am,
for
I am
fanatic.
always one of those guys.
It's
I
built
am
on it,
hoping
man.
you're
Built on it. Night Train Lane. You watch old NFL film of guys taking
Dick
guys'
Night
heads
Train
off,
Lane.
man.
Yep.
this is
What?
this is I'm telling
Night
you,
Train Lane. Dick
when
Night
you were a
Train
kid
Lane.
at night, this was all that was
Detroit
on
Lions.
TV. That's all that was on TV, man. You watch that shit
Jack
all night
Tatum.
long.
Hey, Buckeye fan, Jack Tatum was a headhunter. He'd take your fucking head off. And we cheered it. The game has gotten soft. Fans have gotten soft. I don't want to fucking hear it. You know what? The greatest thing that happened for the Cleveland Browns is Deshaun Watson's fucking Achilles snapping like a goddamn piano string. How
Karma.
about that?
Wow.
Yeah.
We're gonna tone down a little bit of the rhetoric with a little fun for the last
Yeah.
statement. Who knows? Maybe this
Yes.
last statement is like an atom bomb going off. But here we go. We will start with you, Lon, on this one. So a Roger and Elfman podcast would be better than the Dawg Chug.
Oh, that's not a fair question. Okay.
It's a statement. Well, it's not a question. It's a statement. It's a statement. So that, but
I'm sipping.
She
okay.
sipped on it.
The reason I'm going to sip is because I haven't even seen it to know.
Well, just by their interactions, what do you think?
I
here?
don't
What do you-
have
what do you think?
adequate
Okay.
material.
Okay.
But I will say it would be very hard to go against Breakhead News
Oh, yeah.
and Andy chugging. So you two are going to have to step up your
I think
game.
more the Breakhead News, but I think you're onto something, Lana.
You two are going to have to step up your game there. But
Wow.
I'm a maybe on that one because I need to see the material you two can put out together.
All right. Okay. That's fair answer. Mike, what do you think here? What do you
I
think?
could not. Andy is walking talent. Okay, Andy is. I don't know if that's a superhero thing, if it's a special thing he's got. That is a gift. What he does is a gift. So if we could call this just the chug. You know what I'm saying? It could be Andy doing chugging videos. You know what I mean? But
Liver.
Don't sell
I think-
yourself short. Don't sell yourself short.
But
here.
I know. I believe Roger and I would have a very unique podcast that would attract a large group of people, very like-minded folks.
Agree.
Huge.
It'd be huge.
And I'm on chug.
It'd be big in China.
China,
We'd be huge
yeah.
in China. Those
Tiananmen
people,
Square, they'll all be
their
watching it
food is
from.
delicious. I love those people. They love me. Big China guy.
Hey,
China.
long time, I hear.
Yep. Orange chicken.
Oh,
Absolutely fantastic.
Warsu Guy's my favorite. I like Warsu Guy.
Yummy.
All right. Well, I'm actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna chug.
I'm a big egg roll guy too. I like.
Oh, I
like
love a good egg
mustard.
roll.
Well, hot mustard with an egg roll.
Because he knew it'd be on every week.
I'm chugging. Here's what I think. I didn't know. You know, Elfman, I see your stuff every day, and sometimes I'm like, whoa, and sometimes I'm like, whoa, and a lot of times I'm like, whoa.
Whoa.
So, but now I see it tonight, and your interaction with Roger, and I'm like, this could be some fun shit right here, you know? And I love what I do. I'm great. I know I'm great. But you guys together. I mean, maybe you probably need a ringleader. You probably need somebody to break it up once in a while because you know you guys. But I think there's something there. I see a lot of potential, so I have to be chugging on that. And I love me some me, and it hurts me to do that. But
before, honest to God, what Roger said was true, you know. And we really did talk about it one time, but neither one of us really. He was right, like you guys. I mean, you guys, Andy, and you guys knew a bit more what you're doing. You got Ross the sock boss. I mean, that dude, he's not just into feet, he's into computers too. You know what I'm saying? So like it's all worked out good, you know.
Yep.
Rogers built himself a lair, you know what I'm saying, down
Yeah.
there and shit. You know what I'm saying? In that basement.
Mm-hmm.
The Dawg Chug's been a success. So
Wow. Okay. But like I said, I'm chugging on the potential of an Elfman Roger.
oh yeah.
Roger.
My wife has been getting on me to pay for the premium and actually do something. I've talked about it. I need to do something.
Should do it.
Do it. Just jump in. Get your don't go. Just don't. Your feet in the
be
pool.
your first
Jump in.
guest.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Hey, what are you smoking on there? What are you smoking on there?
What do we got down in Florida
This is
today?
actually that now. See, I quit smoking cigarettes a few years
Congratulations.
Oh, very good.
ago.
I got the nicotine. I'm down to the 0.3. Like
Yeah,
my
I was
nicotine.
about to say, right?
I quit 10 years ago. I quit smoking 10 years ago, and I still do the nicotine. I like the nicotine.
I take like right now, like we're talking, we're on this, so I'll use that. You know, a little bit, or like if I'm on a car ride, like me and the wife's going someplace, you know,
I thought it was some of the Jesus lettuce stuff.
No, that is,
Jesus
it's funny.
lettuce.
It's right before this thing started, right?
It's legal now. It's Jesus
devil's
lettuce.
lettuce,
Yeah,
right?
Legal.
yes, yeah.
I was going to say,
a little
isn't
bit
it
of
the devil's lettuce?
I believe
Yeah.
it is.
Jesus
I
lettuce.
had my
Jesus the devil.
right? And I'm reaching for my vape right as the show comes on, and I drop this thing, and I'm like, man, shit, that's a sign. I definitely
We're gonna
shouldn't
wait. Go get it.
because well, the last time I was on, I mean, just full disclosure, I was very high, and like Andy was talking, like I pulled a
fake,
Biden.
dude.
I was like staring off a little bit. I was
You were like,
nobody could be as bad as that. No,
Yeah,
you
I
didn't.
was
No.
but I was cooked. It was
you were like
yeah.
Pete when he rolled down his window and he asked him for his driver's license. He said it's on the bumper. That's how.
Yeah, right.
you
I
were
mean,
baked that night, man.
it was bad. I was like baked goods. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It was a wrap.
Hey,
Nothing wrong with that.
all right, I'm gonna.
Roger, what are you doing here?
I'm
gonna
chugging, man. because
Chugging. He's chugging.
I'm the juice.
If
The
nothing else, we should do like
Hey,
we should do just some
It's gonna
specialty
be
thing or something.
6:30 in the morning because we're both old and we're up at the crack of fucking dawn.
We're at 3
Andy,
p.m.
So we don't need no chugging at 6:30 in the morning
No.
unless Andy's coming back from the casino.
Yeah,
you know?
Andy, he could chug
And,
anytime.
You know, the truth is,
True.
people will see it and they'll be like, oh, this is just a dog chug. Andy's liver's regenerated. He's looking pretty good. Raj, he's almost fucking dead. Ed will be on every night because he's got nothing to do. So I think it's just going to be like Andy will like be off on a sailing on some beautiful
Andy's got a
yacht
refrigerator full
yacht.
of livers.
right.
Andy's got a
Dog
fridge
Chug will
full of livers.
right.
He's secretly rich. I mean, he's uber rich. You saw the Cybertruck. This
Uber
dude
rich.
owns extra livers.
I'll tell you what, man.
He's not even at the
come
ice
on.
capades. He's getting a new one put in right now. The kids are fronts. He's down there.
Yeah.
Kids are
getting new
fronts. He's
livers.
just
Not
using
really
them to
ice
harvest.
capades.
Yeah.
He was running across that footbridge from the Rocket Mortgage. He was running across, playing some cards, running back to the ice capades. He'd be like, "What do you kids want? Some elephant ears? I'll be right back."
I'm telling you, eh, I never seen nothing
He's
like
Chevy
it.
Chase in Christmas vacation.
Oh yeah, he's going back and forth.
That's
Hey,
fantastic.
I gotta say this though. I went out to the Barking Browns. Ed, Andy, and I were. That's where we met. I didn't know Ed. I didn't know Andy. We didn't know, and we were all guests one night on that show. And I met Andy.
Yes,
and
I
Ed
remember.
a couple weeks later, and Andy and I just clicked because we're 180 fucking degrees, man. And he knew, and I knew right away that we might have something because we didn't want a fanboy, you know. And the last thing Dawg Chug ever going to be accused of is fucking fanboying anything.
That's why I always try to support this show and tweet it out and stuff like that. It's not the same shit. Like, no offense, you know, there's a lot
No,
of
it's
this
fine.
thing.
Fair.
This is also
names
shout
you
out
want
to
to.
Yvette. I don't know if she's watching, but Yvette she's the jack of all trades, girls into everything.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, man.
Yep.
something different.
Cyber Dog and his 5 Browns Christmas trees aside, we're not fanboying.
No,
Right.
true.
We
You know
are-
what, man? Yeah. But I'm chugging on that. Elf, it's going to happen. 11 years. April 16th, 19.
It's a date, Puddin'. It's a date.
I'm
It's a
excited.
date.
I'm putting it on my calendar.
Wow. That's yeah, like I said, multiple Browns titles by then too, as Mike said. So that's
Yep.
gonna be wonderful.
3
You know? 3. Wow.
by whoever the new GM will be.
Well, I want to know. I want to gauge your cognizance right now. Now you said last time you were higher than Biden. Right now, would you say you're higher than Biden? Because you're getting put under.
Ooh,
You're getting put under.
I'm
right?
doing all right now.
rapid fire.
Rapid fire. That's right. The
All right,
hottest
go ahead.
news segment in sports podcasting right now. So I'm going to say a question. You have 3 seconds. I want a yes or no. I don't need any other answers or any other words until you get to the final question, which you can just spill your guts out then. You ready?
Go.
Glad the Brown season is over.
Yes.
Brown should have fired Stefanski.
Yes.
Brown should have fired Barry.
Yes.
Browns need to draft a quarterback at 2.
No.
Brown should trade Myles Garrett.
No.
Andy should not renew his Browns season tickets.
Yes.
The Browns are far away from contending for a Super Bowl.
No.
Florida is better than California.
Yes.
DeSantis trumps Gavin Newsom.
Yes.
Bugs Bunny is better than Mickey Mouse.
Yes.
Lola Bunny is hot.
Yes.
Space Jam is better than Space Jam 2.
No.
And finally, who on Brown's X irritates you?
Ooh.
Dude, what'd you say?
Who on Brown's Twitter X irritates you?
Irritates me. Ooh.
I'll give you as much time as you want because I want names here.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If on X itself, there's always going to be the, like the celebrity media guys, you know what I mean? Who really get, the Colin Cowards and,
Mhm.
and stuff like that. There's
But who
there's those
local?
people.
But who on Brown's X? Who on
But
the
the
ones
Browns,
that
the
we, yeah.
Browns, like you got, like I feel like you put me on a.
Oh, I kind of
fucking-
am. I kind of am.
Well, I mean, and this is like, no offense, okay,
Right.
but like you cannot be so sure all the time, like
Like who?
Roberto Shenanigans.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yes.
I mean, I'm not saying that he just is always like whatever his idea is right is right. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like it's just
Andy-
not possible.
Andy would love you right now.
We got the
Andy-
clip, Roger. We got the clip.
We have a fight, me and Andy, because I'm a shenanigans supporter.
And you are off rapid fire.
I know you are, and it's not
And,
that I
and
dislike
Andy
it.
is anti, and he wants me so bad. He's always, yeah, man. Me and Andy, that's our big.
I even follow the
That's
guy.
Andy and I's big
I
fight is
even follow the
shenanigans.
guy.
Yeah.
So I don't, I'm not one of those people that just because I don't agree with your posts, or maybe I might even argue with you some. I still follow you. There are some people that have talked to me some types of ways that, and if you look closely, I still do not unfollow these people
Mhm.
because unless you
Like,
turn to like you were just a special type of asshole. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like because I think that there's always that possibility that
Hey,
you
I'm
can
gonna-
be decent or someone can be decent, and it only takes one time to be decent
yeah.
to change someone.
Shenanigans has a special gift that he can argue a point that he absolutely does not believe in. I argued 2 days. I argued 2 days over something that I had absolutely did not believe in, but I can defend it for 2
Yeah,
fucking
see-
days just to prove a point. And Shenanigans has the same mentality.
He will
Devil's
go-
advocate.
Even if you don't
Devil's
believe
advocate.
something, he's going to argue it just to
Dude.
piss. When I go at somebody, I'll argue a point, even if I don't believe in it. I'll still stay on it.
Yeah,
I can
and
still stay on it.
I watch.
Keep
I
fighting,
read
Roger.
it.
You keep fighting.
To be honest with you, like I
It
watch Roger
becomes
now.
bigger than the subject.
When we first started, like this is kind of funny because Roger, myself, Ed, um, Nick was the guy who had the most follows, really. Like Jacob, when like we were in this chat together and stuff, when these guys started these shows, their follows were low. And it's funny now that, you know, a few years have passed and I've kind of watched how everyone has kind of grown and like the show. And some of these guys, like Rogers one, like he's talking about shenanigans about how, you know, he'll argue a point. Roger on like Ed can do it sometimes. Like they can consume X for a while. You know what I'm saying? Like there are things like Brown's Twitter will revolve around them for a few hours.
When I argued with Lloyd, I took over.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whether you agree with the people or not, it's kind of cool looking back these years later, these few years, watching these guys on these shows.
I appreciate that. That's kind words. Kind words.
Yeah,
I took over. I took over X for 3 days arguing with Lloyd.
Yeah,
that was it. That was all.
Well, you're always, you know, because
was me and him fucking arguing.
Because of that rag that you got up there in the rafters, that's you're always a little more unique around Brown's Twitter because of your, you know, the whole Michigan.
Because I'm an asshole.
No, the Michigan.
Speaking of that, we have a big game, obviously, on Monday. Notre Dame, Ohio State. I want your thoughts. We'll start with myself. Ohio State, good team. Notre Dame, good team. I think Ohio State is a more complete team. I expect the Buckeyes to win, and we'll be really, really sad if they don't. Go Bucks. Lana, what do you think?
I just ditto what you just said. I think so too. When you get to that game, you've got two good teams. It's going to be a great game. Yeah. But I think we're gonna take it at the Ohio State.
Nice.
University. Go Bucks.
Go Bucks. Brownie Elf, what do you say?
I'm gonna chug.
I don't like Ryan Day. And I really, but the Bucks are going to win. And I'm just because everyone, you know, all these people are going to see it. Yes, the Brownie Elf does not like Ryan Day. I don't like Ryan Day. So. But yes, we should win.
Okay. Absolutely.
Roger, okay. I know this could go in a million different directions. Extend Ryan Day.
Like, why even ask?
I know where this is going to go, but Roger, you are a co-host. Go ahead.
We're going to go inside. We're going to go outside, inside and outside. We're going to get them. We're going to get them on the run, boys. And once we get them on the run, we're going to keep them on the run. And we're going to go. We're going to go. And we're not going to stop and go across that goal line. That's what the team says, boys. They say that the team coming in is good. Well, I think we're better than them. I think they say they can lick us. So what do you say, man? Let's go out there and beat them. I got Notre Dame winning by 3.
What are you, related to Lou Holtz or something?
Notre Dame loses by two touchdowns.
Yeah, that's what that. Yeah, I said that about the Texas game, and it was, and I think that about the Notre Dame game. I think it'll be close until a late touchdown, maybe by Ohio State or a Travion Henderson big to the house kind of play, like the Texas game. So, but you know what? I woke up
by 14 points by the third quarter. The third quarter.
Well, I'll you know, maybe as a Buckeye fan, I'm a little scarred because in 2007, we all remember 41-14 Florida and Urban Meyer over Jim Tressel and the Buckeyes. I was fairly confident. Ted Ginn takes it to the house on the opening kickoff. We're up 7-0. He, you know, and then it was all downhill.
Good.
Why bring up the bad mode? Like I
just want to just say to all Buckeyes fans out there, look, I you know, be confident, fan how you want. I get that. Don't fan scared, but at the same time, look, Notre Dame is a good team, and you know what? I think it's one of those things where it's going to be a little bit tougher than the Oregon game. So.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
So
agree.
Go Bucks. Go Bucks.
Go Bucks.
You didn't think my Rudy thing got everybody fired up for
I'm fired up.
That didn't work.
Rudy, we had a private conversation, Roger and I did, about Rudy, and I can't really say it on air because it might offend some people, but I think it was something that maybe a Dawg Chug After Dark or a shit show will go into that conversation.
I didn't like Rudy as much as other people. Yes, I did. I wasn't a Rudy fan.
I love the Moody. That's a great movie, man.
That fat fuck should have saw the field. That's all
Lord
I
of the Rings
say.
is better. You know what I'm saying? Lord of the Rings, like that's
Yeah, Lord of the Rings. Yeah. Sean Astin.
I got the Fighting Irishman. I got the Fighting Irishman tattooed on me on my calf from St. Edward, but I got the Fighting Irishman on me. The Brothers of the Holy Cross. But yeah, I'm ND, baby. I think Notre Dame can beat them. I think Texas had you beat, and they choked. Texas had you beat, and they choked.
You think so?
It was, what was the score at halftime?
14-7 Ohio State.
Yep.
Texas had you beat, and they choked. I got Notre Dame winning by 3.
And next week, we're going to be looking for a new co-host here. Here we go.
Brownie, it's your chance.
All right. Well, we've got to talk a little Cavs here. Anybody want to talk about the Cavs? Talk about the Cavs. Somebody talk about the Cavs. Mike.
Donovan Mitchell.
Oh.
That he is getting this credit for not taking as many shots because more people are involved. I'm going to tell you, just as much people want to give him credit, Darius Garland lost 10 pounds when his jaw was wired shut.
Mm-hmm.
What people saw last year with Darius Garland, that's not Darius Garland's game. What you see now, what you saw the year prior to that All-Star year, that's Darius Garland. And Jared Allen, as long as Jared Allen and Evan Mobley can continue to play solid underneath and shit, this is a finals team. This team is a finals team. Evan Mobley,
Kyrie.
If this is not a mistake, right? Like if this is not a mirage, that he's really figured out the three, which I watched enough basketball. I played enough basketball. The stroke is true. That his form is right. You know what I'm saying, Ed? You play, but you know what I mean? Like it's not
a pure stroke. It's a pure stroke. I know all about that.
It's not an awkward, it's a pure over the head. Like this is, and so it looks real. And if that's real, if this kid's really going to be able to shoot 30-something odd %, this is a finals team.
Okay.
Legit.
Totally
love that. Lana, what do you say about the Cavs? You loving the Cavs?
I love the Cavs. I think we can all agree, this coaching change has been ideal. Kenny Atkinson came in, and I just think he's changed the whole vibe, the culture of the team, however you want to word that. But also, too, he's so good at just rotating that bench. Yeah. We're not wearing people out. We're not
fresh, keeping it fresh.
Yes. I think
they're able to do that because
it's so great. The talent.
Yeah. This is they're deep. They're really I think in another 2 years, I think the discussion about Evan Mobley, like
MVP,
Wembanyama's got the fantasy of every elite NBA guy right now. But if Evan Mobley in 2 more years, if that shot stays true, he's the top 2, top 3, top 4 defender in the NBA.
He may be number 1.
Maybe number 1. And he's developed an inside game. Like he has some solid moves to the basket. He's not. My knock on him in the beginning was he had to make 6 moves underneath before he went up for a shot. It was the stupidest thing I ever saw in my life.
Zigzag.
Yes, he's figured it out. That too. So he is going to be that the unicorn that they talk. That is truly what he will be, and it's they'll be able to do whatever they want. Someone said the other night when they were on TNT, they said that around the league they believe the Cavs have opened up a 3 to 4 year window. That's legit.
I
That's
agree with
real.
that.
I agree with
Totally.
that.
Yeah.
Mobley's shot and Darius Garland showing everybody else that he's got his weight back on. That hey, I'm back. This is a finals team.
Roger, what do you think about our Cavs?
You know what, man? This is the time of the NBA season, the lull of the NBA season leading up before the trade deadline, before the All-Star break. And this is where you really take a look at a team and see how they're playing, how they're built, how they're just operating day to day. And the Cavs are doing the same thing today that they did in November, December. You know what I mean? They're a machine. Like Elf touched on the insertion, putting players in at the right time to rotation. You know, we got 10 guys. Are we going to go into the playoffs with a 10-man rotation would be insane. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would be, if it's working, it's working. You know, Kenny Atkinson was the key. Everything Bickerstaff did on the defensive end taught these young guys, and it's ingrained almost into their muscle memory to play defense. And then you get a guy like Atkinson that's an offensive genius, you know, to just take them to the next level.
Yeah,
and
they're still top 10 and everything.
Playing. Now
Yeah.
they're not one of the best defensive teams in the NBA like they were, you know, with
Right.
Bickerstaff, where they were just swarming and that has a lot to do with Okoro being hurt and LeVert some time off. But it's ingrained into their chemistry and in their makeup as a team to play defense, and then getting a coach like Atkinson just takes them to the next level. They're gonna wipe away. The one thing, okay, I'm not a LeBron fan. I'm a fan of what he did for the city of Cleveland. Once he left the first time, you know, to take his talents, whatever. When he came back, all he was a hired gun to me. You know what I mean? Donovan Mitchell is more of a Cavalier and one of us than LeBron James ever was, and he was born right down the road from where I live. You know what I mean? That's how I feel. But I appreciate what James did. Where this team has a chance not to do it as LeBron James and crew, as just a Cavaliers team, and take back what maybe Mark Price and the Doherty and the Nance Hot Rod ELO team missed out on because they had the unfortunate
Michael Jordan
time and space to occupy. They occupied the same time and space as Michael Jordan.
Right.
You know what I mean? A collective team. This is a team, man. It's a team effort. When Donovan Mitchell, their star, goes 3 for 11 and has a horrible night, they can still win.
Oh, for sure.
And he's still happy and he's distributing and he's still a team player. I think the Cavs are going to win. You want to know what I think? I think our Cavaliers are going to win the NBA championship this year. I think we could go.
They are.
Listen, there's a big difference between you look at the 2015 Atlanta Hawks, and they bounced in every night. They were just beating the shit out of teams every night.
Swept them.
But when you got into a 7-game series with them, it was a whole different ball game. And I think we're built to go 7 games with anybody in the NBA now as we stand.
Agree.
So, wow. Well, we've done Buckeyes, we've done Cavs, we've done Browns, we did all our shenanigans. We are down. We haven't talked about Roberto shenanigans. So we did it all tonight. We got one final segment, and here's what I'm going to do. Because I don't really know what to do. We always have awkward endings. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go around the horn. We'll start with you, Lana. You got 1 minute. Keep it under a minute. Say whatever you want to say. Shout outs, what's upcoming, highs, birthdays, anything you want to say. 1 minute. And we'll start with you. Go.
Okay. Well, just continue to follow us, bougiesports.net, at Bougie Sports, at The Real Squad Pod. Lysandra and I are back the first Tuesday of every month. So we'll be back here early February. And we will be breaking down the Royal Rumble, which will be on February 1st. So we'll be back on February 3rd. So you don't want to miss it.
Tiffy time.
It's Tiffy time. I love her.
Love it. Elfman.
I would tell we'll tell everybody, let's be decent. Let's just be decent to one another. Just try to be nice when you're going out each day. Anyone you interact with, try to do it as if you know they're having a difficult day, or like you would want to be treated. And I know I do this post, and it always says the same thing. It really would make a big difference. People would be amazed. Talk to your neighbors. If you don't talk to your neighbors, talk to your neighbors. Talk to the people that own the stores in your neighborhoods. Talk to folks. Just be kind to people.
Bring decency back.
Agree. Good grief.
Wow, love it. Roger, what do you got?
All right, first of all, I got Super Bowl squares to support Jack Chug's baseball team.
Okay.
He got straight A's. He just turned 10. He's a man of adventure, and he's a catcher. And if you want a Super Bowl square, get a hold of me. I'm going to put it out on X. It's, man, it give you as Browns fans, listen, Verizon Wireless is going to go down to the fucking stadium and have a big, so you can watch other teams play in the Super Bowl. And a big fan. I am so again. I had a whole Dawg Chug up. I had a whole update written about it, but that got pinned. But coming by a square from Jack Chug. Second of all, more importantly, on Friday night, and I'm accidentally drunk right now.
Okay.
So,
You said accidentally.
first time in a while. I got down here about 9:15, and I had a cold one, and they kept flowing ever since.
It
So
happens.
it's 11:30. I'm accidentally drunk, but on Friday, 7:00, I'm going to be on the Lineman Lounge, and we're going to recraft the wild card round. We're going to gamble on the division round, talking playoff drama, and where the Browns go from here. And trust me, these guys, man, they bring the energy. Evo and Shirtless Mike, I was listening to them the other day, and they're talking about salary cap, and I understand it because of these guys. So listen to the Lineman Lounge. I'm going to be on Friday night. They're going to recap the whole playoff thing. I won't be drunk, and it's going to be awesome.
Wow.
Look forward to it.
Wow. Well, I don't know how to follow all you three because that was great, but I will say this. Shout out to the Ohio State Buckeyes as they look to gain a national championship on Monday night. Shout out to Taze Valley basketball. And, all I got to say is walk in your trap, take over your trap. Walk in your trap, take over your trap. And I had fun in this trap tonight. I had fun. It was great. Thanks to everybody out there watching the Dawg Chug. We will be back next Wednesday at 10 o'clock. Everybody out there, if you drink them, hey, you got them, I should say, drink them. Let's go.
Woo!
You're not even drunk, and you screwed
I
that up.
lost my bottle.